So Mark Zuckerberg is out here crafting a future where holograms and AI become part of our everyday routines. I had a chat with him about his grand 10-year plan for these AR glasses. It's all about this digital presence thing and how AI might transform, well, pretty much everything, from how we connect with friends to the nature of our work. Here's the vision he's got, and you get to decide what you think about it.
So I kicked things off by asking Mark Zuckerberg about these prototype AR glasses he's been working on. It's a massive project that's been in the works for a decade, and it could really change up how we, interact with one another.
Have glasses, not a headset, but glasses that can put full holograms into the world with a wide field of view. So you can imagine sort of in the future, we'd be having a version of this conversation where, maybe I or you are not even here. It's like one of us is physically here and the other one is here as kind of a full body hologram. And it's not just a video call. You can actually interact. You can do things. I mean, in the demo, we had the ping pong and games and things like that. But I mean, you can interact. You can work together. You can play poker, play chess, whatever. Like the holographic cards, holographic board game. I just think it's going to be wild. It's going to remake, I think, so many different fields that we think about today, from how we work and productivity to a lot of things around science, a lot of things around education, entertainment, fun, gaming. But this is just the beginning.
Unlike the typical one-size-fits-all method, Zuckerberg envisions a future with a diverse lineup of devices, from basic smart glasses to comprehensive headsets. And the best part? He's really concentrating on keeping them affordable for everyone.
I think you'll see displayless glasses like the Ray-Ban Metas continue to get better and better. Great for AI. No display, but you can talk to it. It can talk back. I think that there's going to be something in between these that's basically a heads-up display. So it's not a 70-degree field of view. Maybe it's a 20-degree or 30-degree field of view. So that's not going to be what you want for putting kind of a full hologram of a person or interacting with the world around you. But it's going to be great for, when you're talking to AI, not just having voice, but also being able to see what it's saying.
Yeah.
Right? Or being able to text someone with your wrist-based neural interface and then have their text show up rather than having it read to you, which is, we read faster than we can listen. Or getting directions, right? Or just being able to search for information and get all that. So there's a lot of value for a heads-up display. That will be somewhat more expensive than the displayless glasses, but somewhat cheaper than this. Then I think you're going to get this. It's going to be probably the most premium and expensive of the glasses products, but hopefully still something that, like a computer, is generally accessible to most people in the world. But I think that there are going to be all of those, and I think people will like them. I also think that the headsets that people are using around mixed reality will continue to be a thing too, because no matter how good we get at miniaturizing the tech for this, you're just going to be able to fit more compute into a full headset. Fundamentally, our mission is not, build something that is advanced and only a few people can use. We want to take it the last mile and do all the innovation to get it to everyone. We, just shipped or announced Quest 3S, the new mixed reality headset. We basically are delivering high quality mixed reality for $299. I was really proud last year when we delivered Quest 3, the first kind of really high quality, high resolution, color mixed reality device for $500, right? It's like a fraction of the cost of what the competitors are doing. And I think it's actually higher quality in a lot of ways.
Moving past just the hardware, Zuckerberg highlights that Meta's focus rests on two core objectives. First, delivering a genuine sense of presence when connecting with others. And second, crafting AI that's truly personalized to each individual.
But I think that there are two primary values that we're trying to bring. Mm-hmm. On the AR and kind of mixed reality side, the main value we're trying to bring is this feeling of presence. Right? So there's something that I think is just really deep about being physically present with another person that you don't get from any other technology today. And I think that that's the thing when people have a very visceral reaction to experiencing virtual or mixed reality. What they're really reacting to is that they actually, for the first time with technology, feel a sense of presence, like they're in a place with a person And that's super powerful. Like I've focused on designing social apps and experiences for 20 years. That's sort of like the holy grail of that, is being able to build a technology platform that delivers this like deep sense of social presence. The other big track is around personalized AI.
The thought of feeling present with my mom, who lives miles away, is just incredible. But then I couldn't help but mention what I'd still miss: a hug. And that kicked off a real conversation about the hard limits of what technology can do.
Hugging my mom,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that never goes away.
Yeah, haptics is hard.
Yeah.
But
And so my question is about that. It's about this feeling of like, it's hard for me to imagine a future where real physical presence is not different and special in some way, where I don't miss literally hugging my mom.
yeah.
And I'm curious how you think about the parts of human connection that are eye contact and physical touch and things that our ape brains value for connection with other people.
Yeah, well, eye contact I think we're going to get to a lot before the touch part.
Now, conjuring that feeling of presence is a bit like a magic trick for the brain. Zuckerberg points out that it's not about having one perfect feature. Instead, it's about avoiding even a single slip-up that could shatter the whole illusion.
The sense of presence is almost like when you're designing something that's sort of trying to artificially deliver it, you're delivering an illusion to a person. And more than any one thing that provides a sense of presence, it's actually more the case that any one thing done wrong breaks the sense of presence. You kind of know that you're interacting with technology, but it's so convincing that that you just kind of go along with it. And you're like, okay, yeah, no, this person feel like they're there, right? When I did that ping pong demo, at the end of it, I dropped the ping pong paddle on the virtual table and it shattered. So that was not the best for our internal development, but like that's winning in our development, right? It's like when you feel like something is kind of so realistic that you're just convinced that it's there.
Looking at data revealing a loneliness epidemic, I wondered, are more digital tools the answer? Zuckerberg contends that his tech isn't about replacing real connections. Instead, it's about meeting the growing demand for more.
One of the first questions that you get is that going to replace the physical connection? And my answer to that, especially in the case of something like this, is that no, because people already don't have as much connection as they would like to have. It's not like this is replacing some sort of better physical connection that they would have otherwise had. It's that the average person would like to have 10 friends and they have 2, right? Or 3. And there's just more demand to socialize than what people are able to do given the current construct. And giving people the ability to be present with people who are in other places physically just seems like it will unlock more. It's not going to make it so, if I have glasses, it's not going to make it that I spend less time with my wife. It's going to make it so that I spend more time with, my sister who lives across the country. And I think that's good. And I think people need that.
Does making life easier with AI leave us weaker? We dove into a lively debate on whether AI is more of a helpful tool or a crutch that stops us from developing key life skills.
So I think one of the big debates is like, should we still teach our kids to program computers? Even though you're going to have these tools in the future that are just so much more powerful than anything that we have now to produce incredibly complicated pieces of software, I think the answer to that is probably yes, because I think teaching someone how to code is teaching them a way to think rigorously. And that even if they're not doing most of the code production, I think it's important that you kind of have the ability to think in that way. And I think it's going to just make you generally a better thinker and better person.
So, how exactly will generative AI transform social media? Zuckerberg envisions a landscape brimming with AI-driven creative tools, highly personalized content, and even AI versions of creators to engage with.
Thing that we just showed too at Connect is basically, I mean, if you're a creator, one of the big challenges is like, all right, there are only so many hours in the day, and your community probably has a nearly unlimited demand to interact with you, and you want to interact with them because you're trying to grow your community. I mean, that's both socially and from a business perspective. That's sort of, growing the community is an important part of what every creator does. So, okay, if we can make it so that each creator can basically make an AI artifact that their community can interact with, people will be clear that it's not the actual creator themselves, but it's almost like a piece of digital art that you're producing, like an interactive sculpture or something, that it's like you train it to, here's the context that I want it to have, here's the topics I want it to communicate on, here's stuff that I want it to stay away from. You're giving your community something to interact with when you can't be there to kind of answer all the questions.
Zuckerberg is placing a massive wager on open-source AI. He breaks down why he thinks sharing the technology freely could create a safer, more innovative future compared to the closed strategies of his competitors.
Historically, I think what we've seen with open source is actually the opposite, which is that this is not the first open source project, right? I mean, this has been a thing in the industry for decades. And I think what we've traditionally seen is that open source software is safer and more secure, largely because you put it out there, more people can scrutinize it because they can see all parts of the system. And then there are inevitably issues with any software. There are bugs, there are security issues. And initially with open source, people thought, hey, if you're putting this software out there and there are holes in it, isn't everyone just going to go exploit those holes, and especially the bad guys? But it turned out that it's sort of in this counterintuitive way that by adding more scrutiny to the systems, the holes became apparent quicker and then were fixed. And then people roll out a new version, just like we roll out a new version of our models, right? Llama.
In the end, the future Zuckerberg envisions is all about endless evolution. Technologies like AR and AI will keep pushing the limits, paving the way for new opportunities and challenges that will have